We taped it, by the way. Do you want a copy?
Huh? Oh yeah, you're right. What in the world was that? But, damn it, it's just what we were afraid of. If only we'd held our ground and stayed there a little longer.
We kinda lost that chance when we made him angry, and whose fault is that?
In any case, that place that was behind him, what do you think it is?
I guess the Midnight Channel's next exciting location.
A superb sight for those searching for sublime love? I just don't get it. Anyways, we better hurry and come up with a plan tomorrow. Given the pattern so far, Kanji's already inside the TV.
And given the pattern so far, a lot of people in class probably saw that and they would have questions.
I wonder what the Midnight Channel really is.
At first, I thought it was one of those paranormal things, but when I gave it a try, it was real.
Well, in this universe, just because something's paranormal doesn't mean it's not real.
Turns out it's actually connected to another world.
The term another world is kind of loaded in Japanese culture these days, because the word for it is isekai, which kind of became a whole genre, and fun fact, in Persona 5, the Japanese name of the metaverse is literally isekai.
If there's a rumor going around, that means a bunch of people are watching it.
How did the rumor go? If you stare into a turned-off TV on a rainy night.
No one in their right mind would try something that ridiculous, don't you think? Unless someone urged them to.
Well, everyone at school was urging them to.
But if you actually try, it does work. And not just once. If this rumor spreads and everyone starts watching the Midnight Channel...
Then everyone will think Kanji is their soulmate.
It could cause a huge panic.
If Teddy is right, the missing people themselves create the stuff we see. So it's not random. It's specifically related to whoever goes missing.
Huh. Yukiko had a show too, but she doesn't remember doing anything like that.
This might be a little off subject, but the culprit is probably watching the shows that come on, right?
No doubt. He's probably sitting back and enjoying... Oh, wait a sec. I bet he is enjoying it. He's probably laughing his head off watching the show that comes on after he throws people into the TV.
Ah, I get it. Yeah, it's definitely possible.
So the culprit is some bored person desperate for something to watch on TV?
Ugh. Now when I think of the killer, I get this image of a total sicko. I want to see everything about you, Yuki-chan.
He throws people in the TV, then he eats chicken, and then he watches them on the Midnight Channel.
Oh, wait. So if people saw Yukiko's show, do you think people were watching what happened to me too? Oh, that is it! That killer is dead meat! I'm gonna leave footprints all over his face!
Well, considering that nobody calls you Dominatrix Banana Head behind your head like at school, I'm guessing nobody saw that.
Guys, first we save Kanji, then we crush the killer. Finally, we crush the killer and send him to hell! Got it?
Yes, we have resolved ourselves to crush the killer twice and then also send him to hell. And that's worth a rank up. Investigation team, everyone! I do actually really like the way the game handles the sort of group of friends. It's actually one of my favorite things about P4.
GA, those last two were the same thing.
I know.
It's called repetition for emphasis.
Hey Teddy, someone's here, right?
Also, hi, we have not seen you in a while.
Oh, yep. think someone's here.
You think? Do you know where he is?
I don't know.
We think it's a boy named Kanji.
I don't know.
What's wrong? Not feeling well?
Well, I sniff and I sniff, but I still can't tell where the smell comes from.
Aren't you thinking too much about too many things? I mean, last time you were wondering about who you really are and how long you've been here. Your head's empty to begin with, dude. Don't stress out over stuff too much.
You're right.
Whoa, he's seriously down about this.
Nice job, Yosuke. You've now unintentionally offended 2 people.
If you can't figure out where Kanji is, we're in deep trouble. We can't just wander around aimlessly in a place like this.
I know what might help. You should give me a clue about this Kanji person. It's just a feeling I have. I think I could concentrate better with it. Do you have anything that could give me a good understanding of him?
Something about Kanji, huh? I can't really think of anything besides all the rumors about him.
Well, I mean, we know a few things. His mother runs a textile shop, he beats up biker gangs, he gets really uncomfortable when you say he likes dudes.
Yeah, it's not like we know him that well.
I just need some sort of hint. Something that tells me what he's really like.
Why don't we ask around and find people who know Kanji-kun personally?
So, for once in this whole game that's about investigating murders, we're actually gonna do investigation. It's kind of weird. So, in order to actually unlock Kanji's dungeon, you first need to ask around and gather some information on him. But while we're here, we may as well buy lots of tap soda since it's back in stock. And you're here now. Mahjong tiles. Okay. What about almond jelly? And that's all. You know, maybe you should go and talk to her. Yosuke's getting some information there, but Kanji's mother is out and about. Maybe she knows something. Yeah, well, he might actually be kidnapped this time. Small boy. Well, that doesn't really give you enough of a description, but somehow we know that they're referring to the one in blue clothes who was at the store earlier. So we need to search for them, but first let's go ahead and buy more drinks. Okay, yeah, this is an example of how the roulette can, yeah, let you win multiple times in a row. Wow, the vending machine is really happy today. Okay, now we're gonna head to Junes, because that's actually where we need to go next. This part is kind of a guide, dang it, on your first playthrough. You just kind of have to walk around town and talk to everyone. But we need to talk to this person in particular, because for some reason she knows where the small boy is. And he's not here yet, so our investigation will have to wait until tomorrow. We can talk to a few other people, though. Okay, well that's good to know. We have some specific dates. So there's nothing much else for us to do investigation-wise, so before we do what we're going to do to pass time today, we're going to actually fulfill a few side quests. Well, fulfill one and accept a few others. So firstly, the guy in our classroom who had the quest for talking to the girl on the rooftop is finally back. So, despite the fact that I screwed up and started this a day later than I should have, I'm still finishing it at exactly the same time. Also, I don't care, we already know where the kid in the hat is. We get 1 Goho M, but hey, at least it's a quest completed. Yeah, that reward is incredibly disappointing, but oh well. Alright, so I think if we swing the camera around... Yep, there we go, Miss Sofue is here, or Queen Tut, rather. And we have a request from a teacher. Okay then, so yeah, dowsing rods I think are actually kind of a big thing in Japan because the item finder in Pokemon, or dowsing machine as it's called in later games, is actually based off of them. But they're pretty much completely pseudoscience, and any success with them is generally considered to be a placebo effect. But her artifacts are definitely not placebos. We're gonna actually want to get these rewards. So I think I might know a few places. Some inside a TV. A suspicious pole. If you think carefully to the types of shadows that are in the TV, you might have a vague idea of what shadow drops that. And our next quest I think is in the practice building. Either on the first or the second floor. I think it's the second floor. Also, I've been told that if you do try to go to the girls' bathroom, even if you have max courage, it does say, even with max courage, you can't go in. Nowhere near as funny as the dialogue in Trails of Cold Steel for trying that, but still. Yes, yes, we don't care about the hat-wearing guy. Yeah, making models tends to do that. I once have... I don't know if I've actually spilled super glue or anything like that. I know I've spilled, like, model paint on my clothes at points, and I was like, hey, I can just wash it off, but it turns out that paint undergoes a chemical reaction when it dries, and getting it out of clothes is extremely difficult. Anyway, she wants a new desk, but, yeah. I did, however, one time use a regular, thankfully an old paintbrush, not an expensive one, but use a paintbrush to put superglue on a model, and I learned the very hard way, never ever ever put superglue on a paintbrush. The bristles fuse together into a solid lump instantly, and the brush becomes completely useless. So I think I actually still have that brush. It's like a giant brush, and its head is just a big wad of glue. It's actually kind of funny to look at sometimes. But yes, take it from me, never ever ever dip a paintbrush in super glue. Huh, the boy is not here. What happens if you say this? Okay, that's kind of funny. Actually, do you have any, anything that I can trade for? The natural? Do I have that? No, I don't. Okay. So, let me just quickly check to see if I'm done in terms of everything else I need to do today. No, okay, that should be fine. We're gonna turn in the request to the fox. And as it tells you there, time will pass, so we have to be very careful when we decide to call the fox. But this will enable us to accept the next quest tomorrow. I like the way this looks at sunset. Yes, that girl successfully found love, and decided to donate a lot of money to the shrine, and that's the part that you're really concerned with. I guess one thing that I can quickly mention is that I'm being a little vague about whenever I refer to the fox's gender, because the fox's gender is intentionally left ambiguous. They're always referred to with gender-neutral pronouns, and we really aren't actually supposed to know what gender they are. So I'm just going to try to be as vague as the game is. Also, I found this out in a New Game Plus. You can actually have dreams about the fox, but they're completely useless because this social link doesn't rank up with points. We get a minor discount, but it's still not nearly enough to make it worth it at all. We're gonna have to rely mostly on tap sodas. Okay, so if tap sodas cost 120 yen and they restore 10 SP, that's 12 yen per SP. That's a way better deal than the fox. So we can drink something in the fridge today. Gulping melon cream soda. That doesn't sound appetizing, but let's try it anyway. Oh hey, it actually was kind of nice. Although you downing the whole bottle instantly reminds me of Joey's drinking a gallon of milk in 10 seconds thing from Friends. Which is a sequence I don't think was scripted at all. So tonight we're actually going to hang out with Nanako. And thankfully we do have Angel.
Yeah!
Given the ridiculous point requirements of this social link, you want to make sure you always interact with Nanako with a matching persona. Otherwise, there will be problems.
Yeah!
Now, this is actually interesting because the response to this will make sense when we see the next one. Yu isn't an only child, he has Nanako now. I don't think you actually get the third response if you don't say no to the second one. It is impossible not to feel happy about everything after this social link rank, and in general, most ranks of this social link, although some of them are a lot, yeah. Nanako's social link actually has some pretty tough, moments in it, which we'll see later. Okay, so at school, we have this guy who was in a biker gang, and oh wait, he's gone missing, we probably shouldn't talk about that. Well, what about the time that Yosuke broke Chie's DVD, and well, we probably shouldn't talk about that around her either, because it contains violence not suitable for children.
Yo!
But it's a new day, and that means that Hat Boy should be at Junes. But yeah, as Yosuke's saying, we have a pretty big deadline on our hands. We are actually still on the clock though. The deadline has started even though we technically haven't unlocked the dungeon yet. But the better our social links, the better our chances of saving Kanji. Oh, okay, today's a very special day for all Japanese students. Exam results day. I kind of recently found out, like, just how... Because I've always heard about American grades, like A, like the letter grades, like A to F, and I never really knew what they actually were, and I was kind of surprised to find out that, like, 90% is an A-. That seems kind of, I don't know, a bit excessive to me. But because we got in the top 10, we got points with all of our school friends. Which in this case is just Strength, Magician, and Chariot. There will be more later. In fact, we've just started a social link with Yukiko. And the lunch theme awkwardly restarts here. Okay, we have Strength available today. And also music.
Oh, Senpai.
At least none of them gave a direct offer, so we had no chance of being locked out of afternoon activities, which we need because, like I said, we need to see, well, a different Hat Kid. Not the Hat Kid from the platformer, but the Hat Kid who was hanging out at Junes that Kanji may or may not have a giant crush on. Yes, it's very convenient. Also, you've been doing a lot of suspicious things lately. What were you doing at the house of a potential victim? Oh, good thing Kanji's not here, because you just said his trigger word. Oh, you actually did it. Okay. And you're still alive. Well, that's a good sign. You clearly can run very fast. So, he thinks that you're interested in him, and his actions are very awkward and unnatural around you. Is it something deeper, or is that kid just that oblivious? And now we need to go back to school, not just because we're going to be hanging out with Sun today, which means I need to get my alternate guide out because I need to know the responses for Sun, but we need to talk to Miss Sofue, because even though we haven't finished that quest for her yet, she has a special reward for you if you get a high score on the test. 3 chess keys. That's pretty nice, and also, okay, I don't know if this actually starts happening yet, but sometimes if you check your locker after exams... Oh, there isn't, okay. I guess that hasn't happened yet. Later on in the game, you want to make sure you check your shoe locker after exams, because sometimes there are gifts there. I don't know if it requires you get first place, or if it's just a thing that doesn't happen until a bit later in the story. So, we are currently at Sun rank 3, so we'll be going to rank 4 with this, and we can also check here, Fox is rank 2, and we also now have Priestess, but we haven't been able to hang out with her yet.
Senpai!
I was about to check if I had a Sun persona, then I realized the game will tell me, and it is telling me. Okay, good. Thankfully, the early ranks of Sun don't require a lot of points, so even with the suboptimal responses from not having the right stats, you can still rank this one up pretty well. Okay, so the next rank is going to require 4 points, and I think there are... yeah, there's more than enough in this. And Expression is up, which we now know is a stat we desperately need because 2 social links rely on it. Expression doesn't require a lot of points to max, but it is one that's kind of hard to get points for. Apart from going to Drama Club, well, Drama or Music Club, there's not a lot of ways to raise it. And, okay, so seems really mean, but this is actually the option that gives you the most points, but it requires courage, so let's just suggest something else. Oh, okay then. I remember an episode of a murder mystery where somebody's house being insulated was actually a plot point. And, okay, another one of these questions. This one requires courage. And this one requires understanding. And it looks like we actually... okay, this one increases understanding, and we had enough points for it too. Yeah, both that and Follow Me give an equal amount of points, and I think they all increase understanding. So, because you actually go outside for this rank, it may not be available on rainy days. That's something that I forgot to mention during the Sun Social Link bio. Drama is all indoors, so I'm pretty sure every rank of that will always be doable. Wow, even more Expression, that's cool. See what I said about music earlier? It does give you a lot of stat points, but anyway, back to what I was saying about Drama. Drama, I'm pretty sure, is always available during rain. Music might not be for some ranks, because you go outside for a few of them. No, we actually came here to help you, also, yep, wow, okay. And we don't quite have enough understanding for that, and this one, though, increases your diligence.
Yes.
So that's actually not the most points, but I'm pretty sure we still have enough for rank 5.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, a lot of Ayane's social link is a little bit cliche, but I have always loved the trope of someone who's shy and lacks confidence, learning to have faith in themselves and learning to realize their talents. I mean, this is a very minority opinion, but Yarn is one of my favorite characters in Fire Emblem Awakening. I'm sure you will one day. Oh, okay, finally we see this. So this is what I like to call LED cheeks, because whenever Ayane blushes, her cheeks just glow as if there are actual lights installed inside them. It's a really weird looking portrait. I was looking forward to showing that for the first time.
Welcome back.
Oh, also, you need a Hierophant persona for today, because we're going to be hanging out with our Uncle Dojima. But before we do, we're going to actually get something a little bit special. Because we did well on our exams, we get 20,000 yen, which is pretty great.
Hey.
And suddenly he's awkward with us again. We have enough expression for the next rank. I believe this one requires at least expression rank 2. You don't need max expression for this one, but it does require expression earlier than Justice does.
Hey.
Nothing suspicious. I mean, technically we are hanging with friends. But the one that actually gives the most points here is working. Which is also somewhat true.
I see.
Yeah, we have more in common with that than we would think. Let's try and make small talk. I'm sure you've had a lot of experiences on your job. Yeah, it seems like Nanako always wanted a sibling. This is a great option. Now we actually are getting through to him. I actually really like this social link because it's kind of a nice depiction of someone who... It's like, okay, in a lot of media, you don't see a lot of socially awkward characters of this age, if that makes any sense. Like, there's a lot of things that focus on socially awkward teenagers or young adults, but you don't often see someone like this. It's just a really interesting depiction of someone who, yeah, really doesn't know how to socialize all that well, and we'll see why a bit later on in the social link. But he's been very work-focused for a long time, and doesn't have a lot of free time, and has kind of just really forgotten how to talk to people outside of interrogations. It's a really interesting concept. A bit of an awkward place to end, but I had to split this part in two because it was getting too long. One thing I want to talk about, though, is that Dojima's yen is not the only reward for exams. If you get first place in an exam, Nanako will give you a unique protagonist-exclusive accessory. And there is one for topping the May exam, which is very hard to do outside of a New Game Plus. I had footage of me getting this from a New Game Plus file, but unfortunately I seem to have lost the video. I have no idea what happened, but it's just gone. So I'll just show you its stats here. It increases strength by 5, which is actually a pretty good boost early in the game. It might be possible to top this exam by focusing purely on studying early in the game, but I'm not sure. It's a lot easier to get this with a New Game Plus. There is something that I do have footage for, and that is the courage locked options in Chie's rank 4 social link, which I forgot to do in the episode where I did that, so I'll show that now.